Okay. Yeah, I think I've started recording. Okay. So just like I was saying, I later had to get get acquainted with the YouTube of a team, and I benefited a lot from it because I was able to get most of my materials from YouTube. So I downloaded most of the lecture videos and I started using it to study at home while my colleagues were in school. And most times I had to struggle with some of them to ensure that our lectures are mostly uh, fixed after 2. By then, I'll be done with work. So, and coupled with the fact that most of them were also workers. So they bought the idea and we succeeded in doing that. Also, I asked myself that I can also do something like this to equally help my students because most of them I discovered were slow learners, and it would be nice if only I can do this. While I was teaching as a math teacher, I equally doubled as the HOD of computer. Okay, we have an ICT unit where I was heading it. Our job is to process results for the college. So we're given a lab with about 30 computers. So I later, since I was the one in charge of the unit, I had an office there. So I got cameras. I think that was the first time Jumia came to Nigeria. I was able to get a camera from Jumia, and I got some other gadgets that I was to use. Some I didn't even need them, but because I was just test running, I had to get so many things, and I was able to do with the ones I could use at that particular time. And I was able to make videos. I made some recordings of my lectures, those ones I was to do in the in the class. For example, if I'm to teach them swords, after explaining swords for them in the class, I'll go to the office since it's just for me and me alone. Although I have where coppers are staying and some other teachers in the department, but in my office it's just for me. So I created a kind of a mini lab or mini studio in the office where I could record my videos, and when I identify any slow learner in my class, I'll invite him to the lab during break and I'll have to play a particular video for him. So that happened the first week. I discovered that some of the slow learners were beginning to pick up and they enjoyed it. And I said to myself, wow, so this can actually work to the point that even in the next year, while I was taking them in SS2, there were some students in SS1 who had similar problems. And when they came to me, instead of me teaching them again, I will just refer them to one of the systems and play a particular topic for them. So I started making videos weekly, and I discovered that I can teach 10 to 15 students different topics simultaneously. While you are on system A studying matrices, somebody can be on system B studying to study number-based systems and the rest. And I could watch them from my seat up there. It's just like a big lab. I could watch them studying different subjects with earpiece, and at the point they could pause the video while it's playing and ask me questions, and I was having multiple sessions at the same time. And I said to myself that this can go wild. I spoke to the school management on why we should have an e-library, but it seems I was faster than the school, and they didn't buy the idea at that point. They said we'll look into it. You know, they always tell you kept in view. And I said, okay, no problem. Until I started doing that on, I started uploading some of my videos on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you see some of my videos. The first set I did, it was not, I think there's an improvement on the ones I do now than then. So I equally had to go to some of the content creators on YouTube. I had to visit their pages to see how um, their videos are doing and how they are producing their videos. And actually, I didn't get much from them because none or very few were teaching on how to do setups and the rest. So I learned Lightning from there, how to equally teach online. So I had to get some of the gadgets I'm using, which I'll be showing you guys. And if you are able to get something, even if not equal to what I have, something similar that you can use, you can even improvise. So I got some of them and I started using them to create videos. At the point, I told myself that it will be I was using a board before where I'll get a camera, somebody will be recording me, and at a point you hardly get somebody to even record you. A fellow colleague will not want to record you because after school he or she may be rushing home, and getting a student to stay back while others are going home will be difficult. So I just had to see how I can do the recording myself without the help of anybody. So I got tripod stands, I got the lights, I got so many things, including the ones I need and the ones I don't need. I started creating my videos. I also learned editing. So I stumbled on a site. I've forgotten the name of this particular content creator, and he actually taught me how to do the setup I'm using today. Although I have modified it to my own taste, which you can also do same depending on how you want yours to be. So I started doing it. I got the application and to use. I equally got uh, learned how to edit. I went back to YouTube. Most of the resources I got were from YouTube. YouTube is a very good place you can get whatever you want. Whatever you want. I'm not joking about it. Whatever you want, you can find them on YouTube. The only thing is if you are patient enough. So I got all those things and I started following them and upgrading. He was talking about getting a tablet where you write on, but I discovered that the one I got initially, I got a graphics tab which I used. Uh, I bought this from AliExpress. It's a graphics tablet, but I discovered that it is not it is not you can't see what you are writing while using it. Okay, unlike the one I'm using at the moment. This is also a graphics tablet I'm using, but this one is more advanced than the one I just showed you. The one down there, I bought it as at then it was around $25, but now it weighs over that. The one I'm using presently is close to, then it was around 400 and something dollars. Yes, as a teacher, I had to get it, even though my salary was not up to that. You know what they pay teachers now. So, but now this is over a 1 million naira in Nigerian naira. This all this I'm saying, these are things that happened before COVID. Yes, so before COVID, you know what $200, the worth of $200 as compared to what it is now. So inflation and everything has taken place. At the moment, I was trying to get this particular graphics tab for somebody, but it's not even online. But you can get something more advanced than this or something less than this. So depending on your budget, you can get the one that suits you. So I started using this to create videos, and I discovered that I could create 5 videos in a day, depending on the topic I'm to cover. I also discovered some other things concerning the audience or your followers. Most of them, in as much as they don't, they prefer entertainment to educational materials. There are some that will want to actually watch your video. So I ensure that I made it kind of interesting, in as much as some will tell me it's still not interesting. But I do tell my followers, I'm not an entertainer. I'm a teacher. So I'm not here to be smiling at you all the times, and neither am I here to hit you with a cane or whatever. I'm here to deliver a lecture and not a skit. So in order to make the class interesting, or my viewers to keep watching, I had to divide a particular class into different series. So if I'm to teach, for example, a topic on set, if I'm talking about types of set, for each type of set, I'll make it a video. I'll record the whole video, but in trying to upload them, after editing, I had to divide them into different series, maybe something of 5 to 10 minutes each. And there are some that at a particular time I have to let it be up to 3 hours. I can have the whole video in one for those who actually want to study the complete course. I'll upload that, then in bits, I'll then cut it depending on the particular area you want to watch. So if you are talking about types of set, you can go there to look at types of set. Or if you want to look at operations of set, you can then just skip to that particular one. And I also met some other content creators online. Although I tried reaching out to Tambowa, but I couldn't get his exact contact to also learn from them, since they have started doing that before me. I also spoke with Esomnot, okay, and I still have his contact. We still chat once in a while to see how we can also help each other. I have other content creators too on education that we are also growing together. We have a WhatsApp platform that we do assist ourselves. So the aim of me having this discussion is to see how I can also help teachers who are also in the regular teaching profession. We all know what is happening in Nigeria today, how the economy is, and how it's affecting everybody, but I feel it is affecting teachers the most, because we are the least paid, but I feel we are the most important in uh, um, in the civil service, but we are least appreciated. Even I myself, I discovered that I never wanted to be a teacher from the onset. Just like I told those of you where who started the class with me, I was offered education, but I turned it down. But deep within me, I'm a teacher. So that's one thing I faced. And I discovered it is already in me. I can't just do without it. So now I find myself doing it, and this is what I love doing. I enjoy doing it, to be frank. In as much as I intend going for other to venture into other areas, but teaching is something I'll keep doing, and I don't know when I'm going to stop it. So, for the purpose of this class, let me not prolong the class. I'm going to um, give you. I'm going to take questions from you, sure, but I'll also give you the techniques I use in teaching. Just like I said, I'm the only one in my small studio. I'm the one doing the recording. I'm the one doing everything. So I think you too should be able to do that yourself, and you'll be able to teach others too. And I think if we do it in a way that it will benefit everybody, if every teacher gets to know how to do this, what you can still teach wherever you are and still get something that it will be it will pay for the knowledge you're impacting on these children. Now, I have spoken with some other teachers online, and I think what you can make from this can be equivalent to what all these other skit makers are making, if only you can be consistent with this. For the purpose of this class, I'm going to say, I'm just going to summarize all what you need to be a content creator, creating educational materials online for students to benefit. Now, you can equally share this with your students. I'm going to teach you how you can also get subscribers or followers, but I doubt if it is something you don't already know. Your students alone, if they are able to follow you, then I think you don't even need to struggle much. But in order for you to make the money faster, you need other students too who are not even in your school. So, things you need for now, I'll target as things to get. You need um, you need to get a studio. When I say studio, I'm not talking about you getting a big room or the normal studio, It may be a corner of your room, just like what I'm using. This is just a section of my room. So you can also get one. You can also use your teacher's decks. So long as it meets all the criterias, I think once you do that, it will help you, depending on where you want to start from. So you can start. You don't need to start big, just like I did. I never started big. I told you I started it from the comfort of my small space in my school. So you can also do same. So you can get a studio. I'll still break down that studio. Then you can leverage on the social media platform. You need a platform for all this to be achieved. I hope you can still see my board. Please, can somebody confirm? Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So for the studio, things to get as a teacher, Those things I got include, um, for sure, my camera. You can use a phone depending on the kind of phone you are using. I am using a Samsung phone. I have a camera. I have a professional camera, which is a DSLR. So you can either use any of them. This is a DSLR camera. You can use it. You can use your webcam. You can use, I would not advise you use your tablet because you can't, anyway, you can use a tablet, but the camera may not be that strong. But for a Samsung phone or an iPhone, I think that would be perfect for you. But if you don't have, you can use your Android phone. Also, you need a graphics tablet. You need a graphics tablet, and for sure, you need your computer. You need your computer. You also need your mics. I'm using these the K26, K35. I have them. I have a lot of them. I have the one I use for my camera. I have the one I'm using for the recording as we speak. So whichever you can lay your hands on, you can use. I have other ones too that I can use. So you can get as many as you can afford to use. What else again? Then, not forgetting lightning. Okay, you need your lights. As you can see, I have one facing me. Okay, and even the light from my screen is also um, killing the shadow. And I have another one, although you can't see that one because it's not uh, in the scene. I have a lot of them that I position, but you are to ensure that it doesn't affect your eyes. Okay, so the one you are using, you should be careful not to, uh, uh, um, not to, not to have too much exposure. In photography, they call it exposure. So you don't expose it too much. So there's this one I have that you can adjust the temperature. Okay, you can use it to kill the shadow. If you have one here, it kills the shadow from the other side. So depending on the one you can afford, you can then use it to make your production. But in a situation whereby you live in an area where you can't be sure of light, you know, the Nigerian factor, you can't be sure of light, then you can do your recordings earlier. As we speak, I can do mine at any time. I have other things too that helps me. I'll not put them as part of the studio. You can also get an inverter, which I have one. Whenever there's a NEPA outage, you can use your inverter to record. With by that, you will discover that the Nigerian factor cannot determine when you record and when you don't record. So I can work. I'm in Nigeria, but I can work like somebody who is not in Nigeria. I don't use fuel. I bought my um I bought my inverter during the COVID. Now, while teachers were crying during the COVID because every teacher, let me use that word, all schools were down and teachers were not being paid. Those of us in the private sector, although some were getting half salaries and some were having other ways to do their work. I was involved in home lessons. Yes, I could run 3 to 4 home lessons in a day, and I was happy about it. In fact, I prayed that the COVID should not go because of what I was getting. It was within that period I installed my inverter. I I got so many things for myself. I got a lot of things, personal things. So while I was doing that, I had to uh, I did a lot of home lessons. So that helped me to be able to get some of these gadgets that I'm using today. So you can also get the alternative power source. But if you think the generator will be good for you, good and fine. But with my capacity, I think I can record for up to 8 hours uninterrupted. So if your gen can carry you based on the current fuel price, then I think whichever that is okay for you, you can go. So that is that on the studio. When you get your laptop, you should also be looking at things like um, a good. Sorry, let me just accept whoever that is coming in. Okay. Um, Google Meet is informing me that the class will end in the next 15 minutes because it is programmed for just how many hours? 1 hour per session. So at the end of this class, I'm going to restart the class again and send the link to the group, which you can also join. Okay, so let me be faster. When on your system, you should have some applications installed. One is Camtasia. Camtasia is what I'm using. Camtasia app, what it does is it records your screen. Okay, and that's what I'm using now. If you can see my screen, okay, no, Camtasia is not working now. Camtasia is the one I'm using to record this. At the end of this class, I'll edit this particular video and maybe send it to the group. So it is Camtasia that I'm using to do the recordings and all of this. Then I talked about the computer and your Camtasia, which is the app you are using. I think that's just what you need, which will be connected to your mics and the graphics tablet. In our next class or subsequent classes, I will be doing a proper demonstration where how to connect all of them and how to go about um, recording your class. So for the platform, you can make use of, I make use of YouTube, now Instagram and the rest, Facebook. I'm also on TikTok, Thread, and the rest. Now, in all of this, you have a lot of work to do in order to monetize your channel. Now, if this will give you your content or your video, which you then upload here. Now, that one video, you can upload it on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Some persons are of the opinion that it is not wise for you to upload a particular video on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook because it may be seen as copywriting. But I don't think it has affected me anywhere. I've never been flagged of pirating my own content. I don't know if they all see it as one and same person. So if you upload it, if I upload it, it goes, and I've never been flagged. Now you also need to promote some of this. You need to promote your YouTube channel, your Facebook page, or your account, and any platform you are using. You need to promote it. Otherwise, you will not get followers or views. And I'm still working on that aspect. I just got an idea. I just got to know that, yes, for sure, you need to do this. But I'm still asking myself, is that what other content creators do? Somebody like Sabinus and others, do they actually promote their um, videos on this platform? And at a point, I want to say yes that they do because most times when they upload videos in less than 30 minutes, you'll see 1.5k shares. I don't know if people just share their videos randomly or if they have um, an association where they say, okay, once I'm uploading by 8, all of you go to my page, pick and share. And yes, they do that most times, but at times they also have these marketers that they pay that help them to do all of this. So you can also do that if you have the means to to do it. But if you are just trying to grow it yourself, then you can actually keep pushing the way I'm doing as it stands. Now, when you monetize your Facebook page or your YouTube channel, you begin to get dollars bit by bit. And when we get to that aspect, I'll let you know how you can be doing it so that, or how I am doing it, and maybe you can add to what you already know so that by the time you are into it, you begin to see so many things. So many things will be shown to you so that you can know which way works for you. Because a content creator A may tell you, okay, this works for me, and another person will say, this works for me. So depending on which works for you, you can go ahead and use it. So this is what I will be showing to you in our subsequent classes. But I think I'll pause for now and maybe take one or two questions from whoever have a question. Then we will continue with the class. So if you have a question, you can just indicate and I'll ask you to speak. So I think we are just 3, 4 in this class. So if you have a question, let me hear your question, please. If it is clear, you tell me it's clear, then we can move ahead. Adeni, Adebayo, and Ayodele are all from the West. So let me get questions from you. Or contributions, if you have. Okay, Joseph, please go ahead. Okay. Do you have any contribution to make? Okay. Yes. Yes, is not I assure you it's not easy. In fact, some of them they will even ask you to pay for it. I myself, for once, I have contacted one or two, and that indirectly they will tell you to pay. They may not come out purely to tell you to pay, and I think they're not being selfish. To be frank with you, they're not being selfish. They're not being selfish. It's just the truth, because they are equally trying to tax themselves on how to make it work on their side, and you are coming to draw them back. Let me use that word, because they are actually ahead of you. So you are coming to pull them back to attend to you, and definitely you have to pay for that stress. While I was putting this class together, I made up my mind that, okay, I may just introduce the class, and before I go deep into it, maybe subsequent classes, I may ask uh, you guys to pay for it. But I asked myself, of what need? Yes, I need the money, but we can actually help ourselves. We know how difficult it is with teachers. So if I can help my colleague, or if we can help ourselves, you never can tell. Somebody else may bring an idea that I may also benefit from. But if I only monetize mine, it becomes not selfish, but I may lose out in certain things. So I may gain from you, and you may also gain from me too. So I think it is like iron sharpens iron. Okay. So Ayodele, let's hear you, sir. Your hand is up. Tola, please speak. Okay. Good evening, ma. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. A quick one. Alternatively, ma, what you need is just your camera. When I say camera, that includes your phone. Whatever phone you are using, you can use this. And secondly, you can get a board. You get a board. With this, you can use this to record your board while you teach. You can also get a mic, like the one I'm using. You can get this. This can record for at least 2 hours before it goes down. So with this, it makes no matter the distance you are or how far you are from the camera, you will still get a clear audio of what you are saying. So your learners will be able to listen to you as you teach. So with this, I think you can do better. Then one other thing you need is I believe we are all teachers, and it will not be difficult for us to get the curriculum or the scheme of work. So that should be your guide. But one thing, the difference between me and somebody who is using um, a whiteboard is that he will have to clean to wipe the board. For example, if I want to, okay, if you saw what happened, I was on this page, I just had to slide down to get to the next page. I will tell you for free that all the lectures I have been teaching, they are still on my system. I have not erased any of them. So if I can scroll, I will just show you some of them. All these are still here. So depending on what you want. So all the exercises, they are there for you. So with this graphics board, you can save all your work there and maybe make reference to them again. But what happens if you are solving something like maybe you are proving an equation? I think one of the most difficult ones that may warrant you to clean is Cramer's rule. If you are working on matrices, Cramer's rule, where you have to solve for this one and that one, and you have to keep all of them, and you want to make reference to them again. So you discover that if you're using the normal school board, when you derive any of them, you have to write it somewhere. I think there are about four. When you derive each of them, you note it down, and then when you want to make reference to them at the end, you can then you bring all of them together to get your general equation for the Cramer's rule. But if I were to be the one, all I need to do is just to go to a new page, go to a new page, go to a new page, and once I'm done with this, I can then tell you, okay, you know that we are able to solve equation A. I'll take you back to equation 1 and then come back to equation 2 and continue from there. So with this graphics board and with my Microsoft OneNote, where I'm writing here is on Microsoft OneNote, okay, with the aid of my graphics tablet. All these are saved in Microsoft. Then you can make reference to them as it pleases you. But for a beginner on a low budget, because I tell you for free, you won't make you won't make any profit in the first, let's say, first 1 year. Yes. So you can reduce your budget to the barest minimum. You just getting a camera or a phone, getting your board and your mic. Then if you can edit your video using your phone, what's it called? You have so many apps you can use on your phone, but the one I'm using is the Camtasia. It's very easy. In fact, I've perfected using it, so I prefer it. I prefer using it to other apps. So for me, I'll stick to it. Stick to the one that works best for you. So I think with this, you can anybody can begin or start the 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 job. Ho, ho, ho. Tolu, my man. Okay, let's just wait for the very few that may want to come back. But for those of us that are here, if you have any question, you can ask. I believe I was able to answer her question before we went offline. So please, if you have a question, you can ask. Alimot, are you just joining us? Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yes.
Oh, it means you missed the class. Oh,
Yes, I'm busy. I can see that.
yeah, sorry. But nevertheless, the we are having we are recording the video, the class. So
Okay.
you will have to wait, and at the end of the class, you get the video and maybe you go through it. If you have any question, then you can still ask. But if you have a question as we speak, I think you can ask. Then, if it means me summarizing the class, using your question, I will do that. So go ahead. If you are you a teacher?
Yes, yes. I don't have question for
Okay,
now.
okay, okay, okay. All right.
I did not start
Okay.
training.
All right. Um, hello, Ma. Did I answer your question before we went off? Are you Dilema?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, do we have more questions? Okay. If there are no questions, then I would like to know: do we have? Are we all math teachers, English teachers, or what's your specialty, and how do you think I can be of help to you? Because all the examples I've been given has to do with uh, math, physics, sciences. So I don't know if we have teachers that are of the social sciences or art, or is it that you can, with what I have said, you can then see how you can use it to better or to come up with your own area of teaching. Do you think it is same, or do you think your own teaching may be different from what I do? Silence means we are okay, right? Okay. So what I will do now is to give us a rundown of what we should be expecting in the next class. In the next class, what I'm going to be doing is okay. Joseph, please go ahead.
Okay, my own question. For those of us that subjects like biology when it comes to practical, but I want to know since it's more if this can also enhance our teaching as
Okay. Just like I said, I never thought of monetizing this from the onset. The aim of me doing this was to help my students, especially those who are slow learners or those who may miss out while I was teaching. If for those who are into teaching, you will discover that at a particular time there are some students who are naturally okay, they are good students, but they may not be they may not be in that state of learning at that particular time. There may be other forms of distractions. Like I remember, um, there's a particular term that you have so many activities, sport, games, competition. Some of your best students may even leave the class to represent the school in one of these events. And coming back, you will not just want to leave them behind. Some may be serving punishment, some may be doing one thing or the other. So how do you take care of them? My aim then was to see how I can help them. During the COVID, I was now helping more students, including those who are not even students of the college. But the primary aim is to see how you can help them, help your immediate students. Now, for those of us sciences or those who may uh, be doing more of the practicals, that is where you now have multiple cameras. For example, I tried doing that because I teach physics too. I tried doing that in a particular year. I discovered that you need more hands in that case. If you want to show them, maybe you want to introduce them to practicals, you have one camera that may be facing you. If you are going to be stationary, you also have another camera that may be facing your apparatus, okay? Or you may get somebody who may hold the camera. As you point, he or she will also be getting clips of this apparatus or whatever you are doing with them. So that one involves more, it involves a more professional way of doing it. But if you know you can do it, good and fine. Like I have a tripod. I can equally use it to position in a particular place. For example, this tripod I just showed you was to capture my board. I did construction, so I got some of the teaching aids, okay, the bigger set squares that I used. I had to construct some other things. So I have cameras that can capture these ones. While I'm speaking about maybe the apparatus for electricity, I have them lined up on a table, and a particular camera is there, so that while I'm editing, as I speak about maybe the ammeter, I can then bring in the ammeter from the next clip and show. You can also do that in form of off cut. Okay, there's what we call off cut in editing. If you see maybe a particular teacher while he's teaching, he mentioned yam. The moment he did this, you will see yam will appear there, cassava, beans, and the rest. As he does this, you'll be seeing those things appearing. These are what you can do um, while editing. So even if I'm editing this one and I want to bring in those things as I mentioned them, while I'm talking about camera, if I say camera, immediately I may crop a picture of a camera and paste at that particular scene. So all these you can do them by yourself. You can get the full lecture of the class. Then when you are editing it, you then bring in some of these pictures as off cut. So it involves more cameras and more hands in order for you to actualize this. So when you are doing practicals, you should have that at the back of your mind. Yes. So I don't know if I've answered your question. Uh, Adebayo, you have a question, sir.
Not really. Just
Okay.
PowerPoint presentation can also help.
Okay.
You can also have real, um, your diagrams. You can actually edit video, or you speak to your PowerPoint. You record yourself along while you have your PowerPoint on one side, and you can split screen and do that. Or possibly you can also make short videos in your recordings, so that those videos can be directly speaking practical aspects. Having apparatus like what students that will easily bring that in, have short videos or live recording. This is what they will check that in.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that contribution. So I don't know if Joseph, you got his contribution on that.
Yes, I have got it.
Okay. So you can get all the recordings, and if you have an e-library in your school, you can have them placed there where students can benefit from them. So that's just basically what I do for my students. So you can also do same. All right. Do you have any other question? Okay. If no question and contribution, what we'll do next, I don't know how often we'll be meeting, but I will just take the whole of this week, maybe 2 hours per day. That means we are going to meet tomorrow. So for the tomorrow's class, I'm going to show you how I do my studio. I'm going to talk about the studio settings. I will have to get maybe somebody that will help me while I speak on the lightning, the cameras, and the graphics, how I'm able to connect all of this. I'm going to be showing you guys how it is done. Then in the next class, we can also see how we can upload them on YouTube, Facebook, and how you can use tags to um, help yourselves or help share your videos. Because one thing I've come to realize is there are recommended ways your videos must must suit in for Facebook to acknowledge it. I learned your video must be landscape for YouTube, while Facebook can accept both. Okay, so we'll also look at them and see how we can upload them on YouTube, on Facebook, and how we can make our videos go viral. Okay, without subscribing for a company to help you send them viral. So that's what basically we will do. Then there are other things we may want to share, other contributions we may want to share, how we can help ourselves too as teachers. We can retain the group and help ourselves grow. Okay, while maybe I have you have a particular subject you are teaching. When you upload, I should be able to get my subscribers to also watch your video while you also do same. And the beauty of it is that you can't in education. I don't think you can. To me, I don't feel you can stop my shine. There are some content creators that may not want to expose certain things to you, believing that when you are able to do it this way, you become better than them. But when you don't, when you have the mindset of the student in question, you will discover that all these things will not be of interest to you. But definitely, you will still make your money. So, if I'm a math teacher, I should be able to I should be able to show my students. I should be able to direct my students to you who is taking maybe physics, chemistry. I should be able to show them, make them learn from you too. So whichever way we can help ourselves, it will help. Is somebody speaking, please? Okay, do we have any other contribution? Okay, I would like to thank all of you for giving me your audience. Uh, and I'm happy that we are able to start something, irrespective of how little it's going to be at this point. If you have any question, you can drop it on the page. I'm going to leave it open from now onwards, and I will only come in to close the page when I discover that somebody is trying to spam the group. Please also be careful. Nobody should call you that we're having a meeting or whatever, trying to scam you. Please, I will not take responsibility for anybody who is being scammed. And I believe you must have done your two-step verification to avoid being scammed. One other interesting thing I'd like you to know is that you should also be ready to work. At the end of this, we may have a 60-day plan whereby you will get your Facebook channel monetized or Facebook page monetized or account. I'm going to also reveal to you the tricks I'm using to ensure that I meet up that target within 90 days. So we shall work together to see how that can be achieved for each and every one of us. Yes. So Adebayo, you still have a question or a contribution to make? Your hand is still up. If yes, go ahead. Okay. Um, all right. Samuel, you have a question. Samuel James, please speak. Samuel, please speak. Okay. If Samuel is not speaking, Samuel, your mic is off. Okay. So I think we can call it a day at this point if we don't have any question. I'm going to edit the video and send it to the group so that those who didn't join us from the beginning can actually get what to know what we did in today's class. Yes, Samuel can hear you. Yes, sir. Oh, they said what? Okay. And they said what? What's recommended? Page not recommended. Can you are you still having that issue? Are you still having that issue? Page recommended. Now, what happened was that you are not what you let me use the word you overshared that particular video. Okay, when they see that you are sharing one video more than the stipulated times, they will send you a warning that they suspect that you are trying to um, there's something that they'll send to you, like you trying to force people to watch your videos, and they have detected that it has violated the Facebook policy. It is only on that note that your page will be suspended or your account will be suspended. Most times it is for is it a week or two, after which that will be lifted. And once that is done, you discover that at that particular period, you can't share your video again to um, pages or groups that you are not an admin. So when you want to share your page, your videos, ensure that it is done to pages or groups you are an admin, and it's better you plead with your friends to help you share them. And most times when I want to share, I'll just share them on my own page and highlight everybody. So if you highlight everybody, Facebook will now have to inform your friends that okay, oh, Utaji has highlighted something for you to see. Then you can then go follow the link to watch it, or you can tag your friends. I know that one is also difficult, but I think that's just one of the ways you can do that it will not uh, they will not penalize you on. So Sam, I don't know if that answers question. All right. So in tomorrow's class, we are expected to have this. Okay, we'll be dealing on the studio, how to organize your settings. Okay, Samuel, we understand. So we can as well invite our friends who we feel we also need this. I tell you, Muslimly, we all need it, but it seems most teachers are not, let me use the word, business minded. They are not. It seems we have one kind of spirit that tells us that you don't need money or you don't need a good life. That is one thing I think we have. But if we can expose this to our teachers and we have most of them doing this, you discover that we can live better without complaining of being stressed out or being used. And with this, you discover that our how do they put it? Our reward will begin here on earth and extend to heaven. So let's try and see how we can help ourselves. And please, I would also like to beg that you try to help one another in building your community. So the community will still stand, the one on Facebook and on uh, WhatsApp. We are going to be using it. If you have any question, you can come and drop it there, and somebody will be willing to respond to you. If you know you can respond to any of the questions, please do well to assist a colleague in need. So once again, I thank you all for your attention. See you in our next class tomorrow, where we'll take um, a new dimension. And please be willing and be ready to get some of these things, because we'll be doing a 30 days boot camp. We'll be having the 30 days boot camp where each and every one of us is expected to do one or two things every day. We'll agree that, okay, upload, if we say upload 5 videos per day, you should be able to upload 5 videos per day and we'll all grow together. All right. So see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Agbola, are you here? I'm waiting for you all to leave. Okay. Joseph, have a nice day.